Hey guys, today's video is a project level up update and I am leveling up. I'm very excited. I have completed level 2 and I'm moving on to level 3. If you are new, I hope you'll subscribe. I love project panning, shopping my stash. I'm currently on a low buy. This project was created by Sophie Alexandra. I will link her in the description box. It's a really fun way to get usage on eyeshadow palettes. I don't do pan that palette or pan those eyeshadows. So this is what I am doing instead. I will explain how I do this project. Check her out for more info and let's get started. All right, so what I am doing is I am picking 4 palettes for every level, and I have now completed level 2. So for level 2, you have to use every eyeshadow in the palette twice, and then how Sophie came up with the project would be to hit 2 pans on level 2. Level 1, hit 1 pan. Well, instead of hitting pan, I've decided to pick eyeshadows and use them 10 times each. So for level 1, I had to pick 1 eyeshadow, use that one 10 times. And for level 2, I had to pick 2 eyeshadows, use them 10 times each. So I have completed level 2 on all 4 palettes. Let me show you the palettes. And I do have comparison pictures from when I started this project. And I do feel like I can see some usage on there. And I really enjoyed using the palettes in level 2. So first up is the Sydney Grace Raspberry Kiss palette. I had not even used this palette before putting it in this project, so I am really happy with that. Obviously, I used every shade 2 times, and then for the shades that I wanted to use 10 times, and this one here I used 10 times, possibly more. I love this shade as an inner corner highlight. And then the other shade that I used 10 times was this one here called Keep Smiling, which is a dark brown. I often used this on the lower lash line. I feel like you can't really see that much usage, but the Sydney Grace shadows are really pigmented. But I don't know, I feel like I'm seeing some usage there. And some of the other shades I did actually use more than twice anyway. So yeah, I'm really happy. I finally used that palette. Sydney Grace, one of my favorite eyeshadow brands. So that is awesome. All right, next up, I had the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. Wow, is this a beautiful palette? It is amazing. So here it is there. So obviously I used every shade at least twice. And then for the shades that I had to use 10 times, I went with Milky Way here, which is gorgeous. I love this on the lid and also on the inner corner. And then the other one was this one, Gloom. I like that for the outer corner and lower lash line. I really enjoyed the other shades though. This one here, Luna, is a duochrome. It is so pretty. I was wearing this in a Geekmas video and a lot of you guys really liked my makeup, and this palette is absolutely stunning. This shade here, Night Vision, is also amazing. This is a really gorgeous palette. It really is. I am super impressed. Glaminatrix formula is really good. High pigment, a lot of sparkle, duochromes, all of that. It's a fantastic palette. So I definitely enjoyed that one. And then I also had the Ace Beaute Aura palette. And again, this one is really pretty too. I really enjoyed using it. And the shades that I picked to use 10 times, this one here called Moonlight. Again, this is one I used on the inner corner a lot. And then also this one here called Nimbus. You can kind of see a theme. I often used this on the lower lash line or outer corner. I also used this shade definitely more than twice. I don't know if I used it quite 10 times, but I used this a lot on the lower lash line as well. And I definitely enjoyed the rest of the palette. It is stunning. I had some really good palettes in this round, and I'm just so happy that I am using my eyeshadow palettes because I recently posted eyeshadow palette collection videos. I have over 150 eyeshadow palettes, so I need to be getting use on them. All right, and then the last palette that was in level 4 was the Nomad Ghost Town USA palette. This is a larger palette, so this is the one that took me longer to get all of the use on it. So obviously I used every shade twice. And then for the shades that I picked to use 10 times, I decided to go with the matte browns because, again, that's kind of easier. I can use them on the outer corner, lower lash line. And so the shades that I picked for that were this brown right there, and then this dark brown here. Those are the ones that I used 10 times, but I enjoyed the rest of the palette. And the shimmers in here are so, so pretty and sparkly. And again, several looks that I wore in videos with this palette, you guys really complimented my makeup, and I combined it with the Nocturnal palette several times, and it was a lovely combination. So I'm very happy with level 2, and I got all my use on these 4 palettes, and I probably use them even more. I loved them. I wore them on their own, combined together, combined with other palettes. It was a whole lot of fun. So I am going to be picking some new palettes. I have a stack of 10 palettes that I'm going to show you here, and then I'll be randomly picking 4. So what I've been doing for this project is using a deck of cards. I've been inspired by the deck of panning, which I love that project pan, which I am doing that one as well. And so I'm going to randomly pick cards. So if I get a 6, I have to pick the 6th palette. Joker, if I get a Joker, that means I get to pick any palette I want. And then face cards and 10 are going to be 10. So I've got 10 palettes. And last time when you guys told me that I should take out some of the face cards because then I have more 10s in here. So I did do that. That's a good point. So that's what I did here. All right. So let me show you the 10 options. First up, the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I bought this a few months ago and I've only used it a couple times. So I would love to get more use on this one. And it's a gorgeous color story. So that is option 1. Then we have the Wine and Only from ColourPop. Definitely one of my favorites from ColourPop. And again, I'd love to get more use on that one. Number 3, Dose of Colors Friendication. I was inspired to pull this out. I wore it a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh, that is such a good palette. I love it. So I thought that would be a fun one to pick. Another older palette, the Charlotte Tilbury Smoky Eyes Are Forever. This one I actually have used a lot. This was in my Project 100 uses, but I haven't used it in a while. So again, I thought it would be a good one for this project. And then the Melt Cosmetics She's in Parties. I tend to neglect my Melt Cosmetics palettes. So again, I thought this would be a perfect option. And then Melt Cosmetics Gemini 2. Beautiful color story there. Urban Decay Naked Honey. Another one I don't use enough. So that's going to be an option. Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. Love it. Definitely want to use this one more. It's awesome. And then the Odin's Eye Snow Dream palette, which is a newer palette to my collection. And it's really pretty. So again, that would be fun. And then last up is my newest palette, which is the Melt Cosmetics Bailey Sarian palette, the Fatally Yours. I've only used this once since I bought it. And so I thought, hey, this would be a great option. So those are my options 1 through 10. So I'm going to shuffle my cards and I'm randomly going to pick 4. So this is for level 3. So that means that I have to use every shade 3 times. And then I'm going to pick 3 eyeshadows and use them each 10 times. All right, I have shuffled the cards. Here we go. Number 5. All right. I'll pick the cards first and then I'll show you the palettes. Then we have number 4. Okay. And Ace. So that's number 1. That's Yucca. I can see it. And one more. Joker. That means I can pick whichever one I want. Okay. I'm excited. All right, so 1, 4, 5, and then whichever one I want, I will show you the palettes. All right, number 1 was the Yucca palette. Yay, I'm very, very excited. I mean, I was excited about all of these, honestly. I picked them because I want to use them. This one, though, I haven't used enough, so it's awesome. Beautiful color story. Really looking forward to that one. And then the She's in Parties got picked, which again, beautiful burgundies and light purples. This one is really nice. So I am looking forward to that. The Charlotte Tilbury Smoky Eyes Are Forever. So this is one that I have used quite a bit, but I just haven't used it in a while. So it's a great option. Definitely looking forward to it. And I love this green here. It's so pretty. And then also I love this copper shade and also the matte red. So maybe those are ones that I'm going to want to use 10 times. We'll see. I haven't decided on that part yet. But again, level 3, you have to use every eyeshadow 3 times, and then 3 eyeshadows I have to use 10 times each. And then for the Joker, I got to pick whichever palette I want, and I went with my newest palette, the Milk Cosmetics Fatally Yours, because I've only used it once, so I want to get more use on it. It is really stunning. It is an all matte palette, and I'm just really excited about it. I love the Milk Cosmetics matte formula, which is why I really wanted to buy this palette. Mine did come a bit like this shadow here and this one here were just like slightly broken, like only a little bit had fallen off. So I just kind of pushed them back in there. I really hope that it stays. I mean, if the whole thing had been crumbled, you know, I would have like called them and said, hey, can you send me a new palette? But it was just a little bit of damage. So I figured I'd just push them back in there and keep it as is. So yeah, I am very, very excited. So these are my new palettes for level 3. I am loving this project. It is such a fun way to get use on my eyeshadow palettes. I am thrilled. I am loving it. If you are new, I hope you'll subscribe. Check out Sophie. Like I said, she came up with this project pan idea, and I do a lot of project panning on my channel, and you can find more of those videos in the project pan playlist. And it's Geekmas daily videos in December, so check out the Geekmas playlist for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.